Hi, welcome back to episode 5 of our Read It or Unhaul It series. We are starting off strong. It is the end of August, so that means that I'm going to be picking 3 books from our jar here, and if I don't read them by the end of September, then I have to get rid of it. There's only a couple rules here. I haven't included any of my Sarah J. Maas books. I'm reading that in a particular order, and I don't want like 3 poetry or 3 graphic novels, so if I happen to get double of that, I will switch it out for something else. But I mean, if I get 3 fantasy or 3 romance, I'm not going to switch those up. I just don't want it to end up all poetry because that's not a very interesting video. But I haven't had that happen so far, so I think we'll be good to go. But maybe since I say that, I'll have some bad luck. Hopefully not, though. I am so excited to do another episode. I've had such a fun time doing these videos in the past. So I guess without further ado, let's choose our first pick. Alrighty, the colors don't mean anything. That's just whatever paper I had on hand. And some of these have been in here for a long time. So could be anything. I'm hoping for some good ones. I feel like in the past 4 videos, we've gotten a lot of books that have been on my TBR for so long, and I've DNF'd quite a bit. And that is kind of the point of this video, like concept, but I want some like 5-star predictions to pop up on one of these videos. So that's what I'm hoping for. So, alrighty, pick number 1. One. What is it gonna be? Artemis. I have had this for so long. Let me get it. Here it is. This is by Weir. This is the same author as The Martian and Project Hail Mary. I've loved both of those, and wow, amazing choice. I am so excited to finally get around to this. This is a book of the month hardback. I've never had book of the month, so I must have just found this at a thrift store. But I think it's going to be the same as both the other books, something to do with space. And to be honest, I don't know that I really want to know anything else. So let's jump into it.
Hello, friends. It has been a while. I know it hasn't been a long time for you, but for me, it's been a little bit, and it's just been crazy around here. Where to start? Okay, I guess the book, because that's what you're here for. I am halfway through. I don't know if you can see this. I'm 50% of the way through Artemis, and it is October now. And so technically I have failed finishing this by the end of September, but since I am 50% of the way through, I'm just going to push it through and just finish it. I'm probably going to finish it today. As you can see, I'm in my car. I have a 2-hour drive to my first audit, so I think I have 2 hours left of the audiobook. The 50% that I've gone through, whatever, 200 pages, 130 pages, feels like 200 pages, I read physically, and I was just kind of struggling to kind of get into it. I don't know if I've just had a lot going on that I just haven't really been reading, and the only time I seem to find time to read is in the car when I'm here doing, my job or going places. And so I figured, you know what, I'm just going to pick up the audiobook for the other half because I can't be bothered. I am so busy. So we are trying to plan our wedding in September of 2026. And I guess a year is not enough time to plan a wedding anymore because things are already getting booked out in September a year in advance. So I thought I was on top of it and on time, but so we're trying to coordinate with photographers and caterers and go to these tastings and so it's just a lot to do very quickly. And then on top of that, we are moving. You guys know this. We're moving in October. In 12 days, we are finally going to be in the house. I am so beyond excited. And yeah, but moving on it in itself is an entire task, and then wedding planning on is also an entire task. So doing those at the same time and then still just doing your normal everyday life, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. But it's going to be great. The wedding's going to be great no matter what. The house is going to be great. It's most of our stuff is packed, so it's kind of like, you know what? We're going to get the keys on the 20th of October, and then the movers don't come until the 24th. So I think during that week we'll just make small trips to the house with all the like little stuff, and I'll figure it out then, okay? It's all going to be fine. But I did want to come check in with you. This is a sci-fi fantasy novel. It's about our main character, Jazz. She lives on the moon, in like the city on the moon. It's way into the future when they have colonized the moon. There's an entire city there, and she is one of the, citizens there. And she's been there since she was 6, and she's now 25, maybe 23. I don't know. She's definitely over 21. And she is very smart and knows, is very sciencey. Andy Weir, I read The Martian and Project Hail Mary, so he throws a lot of scientific facts at you. Whether they're true or not, I don't know. I'm not a sciencey person, but it's fun to like listen to or read. And you don't need to I don't that doesn't you shouldn't be intimidated by that though. It's all palatable. It's not overwhelming, and also it doesn't matter. It doesn't actually matter to the story of them being like, well, it needs to be this pressure to keep the, city alive, and you're like, okay, sounds good. You could have said anything, and I would have been like, fantastic. But that part of it is very interesting. She has now come across. She does some illegal like importing, or like she'll like there's certain things you're not allowed to have on the moon for safety reasons, and like she helps smuggle illegal stuff in for people. Well, she gets into kind of this illegal deal with someone, and it kind of doesn't go the way she planned, and now people are after her, and so she is trying to figure out, one, who it is, why they're coming after her, and just trying to stay alive. That part of it is very interesting. I didn't read the synopsis of this before I started reading, so I had no clue what this was even about, but it is entertaining. I think just because life is so crazy right now, I've just not been interested in actually picking it up because of how chaotic everything is in my life. But now that I have the audiobook, I have 2.5 hours of the audiobook left, and I have a 2-hour drive to my first audit, and then I think I have like an hour between each of the other ones that I have for today. So I will absolutely finish this by today. So I will come back to you later today, I hope. I'm gonna make myself come back to you later today so I can finally finish this up. We can finally finish, all of the books in this month. I'm not sure what order this book is in relation to the other ones, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay, I did it. I finished Artemis. It is the same day as earlier. I just changed out of my work clothes. There's just something so nice about changing out of your work clothes at the end of the day. It's a great feeling. But unfortunately, this didn't necessarily really get better. It didn't get like worse, but it was just average. I gave it a 3 star, and it's not like the story was predictable, but nothing was shocking about it. Jazz, our main character, she would go out and do something, and she'd be like, I hope this doesn't go bad and go poorly, and I hope it all works out. And then I'd be like, well, something's gonna come up. Something's gonna happen, and it's gonna mess up her plan. And then that's exactly what happened every time. And I wasn't necessarily predicting what was going to go wrong, but it's never a smooth sailing, So I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say about this. Maybe I'll have more to say once I've sat on it more for the wrap up. Clearly, I'm doing terrible at my wrap ups. Still haven't filmed August wrap up or September wrap up. And I don't know. I was gonna film those here in this apartment before we move, but now it's just time is getting away from me, and I'm just tired. Okay, I'm tired, and I don't have the energy to film those wrap ups. I've got so much else going on, so I think I'll just leave this vlog here, and maybe in the new house I'll film the other wrap up, and then or maybe in the next 12 days I'll gain the energy to film. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, hopefully that one went well for me, so let's go ahead and choose book number 2. A snowflake. What is it going to be? Unravel Me. Oh my god, let me grab it. Okay, this is one of the books that is on my 25 books I want to read in 2025. This is the second book to Shatter Me. When did I read Shatter Me? I read Shatter Me last year, 2024, and it's a young adult series, and I haven't had the desire to pick it up since the first book, but I recently had a friend tell me that this series is one of their favorites. So I'm so glad that this is forcing me to finally continue in the series and figure out whether I want to actually read the series or not, because spending so much time between books is not going to be helpful. It's only going to make me not want to read the series or be invested in the characters. So what a great choice. Okay, 2 good choices so far. I really hope our third one is also an amazing pick.
Hello, friends. I am about 70% through Unravel Me by Tahereh Mafi. I meant to come back and talk to you earlier than this point, but last night I was reorganizing my TBR shelf, so here's the clip for that. I was listening to it and I was about 100 pages in, and I was considering DNFing it for sure. I just didn't know where the plot was going. To be honest, our main character is just she kind of gets on my nerves. She's so sporadic maybe, or she's just like, I don't know, she can't get her thoughts together, and she's so like stuck in her head about everything that's going on that she can't like get simple tasks done, and it's like kind of infuriating, but it's getting better. I mean, I understand that she was in pretty much solitary confinement for 10 years, or she's only 17. Most of her life she's been in prison and asylums because she's so dangerous, because she can kill someone with a single touch. So I understand that that can mess with your psyche. I understand that, but it's just kind of frustrating to read from her perspective because she's all over the place. But after like 100 pages, we finally understand where the kind of plot of this book is. After the first book, she is joining the rebellion, the resistance, joining their group and trying to get together, learn her powers better so that way they can prepare for probably the inevitable war that's going to come against whatever they call themselves, whoever the bad people are, the reestablishment. And so once we get that plot, she's kind of learning her abilities more. She is kind of starting to actually figure herself out. It has gotten a lot better. So I am 330 pages in, which is about 70% of the way through, and I am liking it. I don't know, at this rate I'm still gonna probably give it 3 stars, which isn't terrible, but I don't know. I just, she gets on my nerves, and it's just since it's gotten better, the writing has gotten better with her. I think it's okay, and I'm excited that I've finally continued. I looked it up. I read Shatter Me, the first one in this series, back in like November of 2024, so I can't believe it's been that long since I read the first one. I'm hoping that if I am going to continue in this series, that I continue a bit quicker than how much time has gone by. But I have some more driving to do for my job today, so I will probably finish this by the end of the day. And I might come back to you later tonight or maybe tomorrow with my thoughts on how this ends. Hello. I have finished this last night, like I said, but I was just a bit too tired to update you. So I am back in my car today for work. I'm waiting around for our appointment at this wedding venue. So I figured this would be a good time for me to update you on this. Unfortunately, it didn't get much better. I'm gonna give it a 2.5-star rating, and that's unfortunate. I think I'm gonna continue and read the small novella that comes after this. I think it's Fracture Me. And if by the time I get through like the 100 pages that little small novella is, if I'm still like, if I don't give it above a 3-star, I'm not going to continue in this series. But I want to give that one a go. I've never been so annoyed with a main character, but also still wanted to like know what happens. Which has been weird. Like, I'm just so annoyed of Juliet. Like, she just can't get her shit together. Like, I know this is young adult, and I don't know, maybe in adult fantasy novels, like, the adults make better decisions, but I guess like these people aren't stupid. Like, I don't understand why everyone is so immature and doesn't know how to have a conversation and communicate with people. And like the whole time she's like, oh, I kept these secrets and now people found out, and like now I'm in trouble for keeping these secrets. Like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? And like everything is just crashing around me and I just boo-hoo me. And then something else will come up and she'll be like, I should keep this a secret. I shouldn't tell anyone. I'm like, girl, get your shit together. Like, ugh. And plus there's this love triangle, and I just like, I'm not a fan of love triangles to begin with. Like, girl, choose the man you clearly know you like more, because it's clearly obvious. Even if it's kind of stupid, a stupid choice, but whatever. I guess you've known him for a whole month and he's done terrible things to you. But sure, go ahead and fall in love. So, maybe I hate this book more than I think I do. I don't know. Because I own the Fracture Me novella, I want to see how I like that, and then I will probably end up not continuing this series. But I'm gonna give that one my one last go. But at least I finished this. I am going to keep this because I finished it. I keep all the books that I've read. And what else to say about this? The end scene of this was frustrating. Um, Not really a spoiler, but in case you want to read this, I would skip ahead. At the last like battle, within like 2 minutes of this like battle, she's like taken. She's like whisked away to like and captured. And you're like, girl, you literally can kill people with a touch. Like what is going on? Like what why like put up, maybe that's just more of the writing. I'm like, Tahereh Mafi, please, like put a little bit more effort. This is a like, let's see, almost 460 page book, and you're telling me we're pretty much just the entire time at this bunker and like just everyone's talking about their feelings but then like not talking, and it's just such internal monologue and this and that, and then finally we get to the like last little bit that's like the final thing that we've been like gearing up to do, and then it like just she gets captured within like 2 minutes, and I'm like, so I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think I like young adult anymore. I think just, I don't know why every young adult book has just such immature characters who can't have just normal conversations with people, and I'm just over it. But at least I finished this. That's at least finished another book. So I am gonna start on one of the other books that I read for or picked for this video as well. So if you see me in the same clothes for my update for that book, um, now you know why. So I'm gonna go do that. I guess I'll film that clip next, and then I guess I'll see you when I see you.
Okay, third and final pick of the video. I think we're having some good luck so far, so hopefully future me agrees with that, and hopefully this next one just keeps it going for us. Okay, so I guess let's just pick it. This one, what is it gonna be? Shadow and Bone. Oh my, okay, let me grab that. Here it is, Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. Okay, do I have to read this before Six of Crows, or should I be reading Six of Crows first? Let me look it up and please hold. Okay, according to Google, it says that you could read Six of Crows before the Shadow and Bone series, but chronologically, you should read this first, and then that will set up Six of Crows to be better. So, alrighty. I've had this on my TBR for a very long time. To be honest, I have no clue at this point what this is about. I think there's magic, and I do love a good magic fantasy world. So, this is a trilogy, and then it looks like Six of Crows is just a duology. So, hopefully, this is the start to a series I really love. So, great. What good, happy September reading to me.
Hello, I am about 70% of the way through Shadow and Bone. I have been in the car all day, so I have started and gone all the way to 232 pages into this today. I didn't know that this was also young adult. Why do I still have so many young adults? I guess maybe just like these are the books I've had for years and it's just been sitting there, and now that I'm finally getting around to it, I am not as much into young adult anymore. I was just talking about one of the other books that I picked for this, so I just kind of ranted about that, and I'm not hating this so far, I'm just not loving it. Like, we have our main character, Alina, and she discovers that she has this power. She is a sun summoner, and this has been dormant for her entire life up until this moment, and then once this power surfaces, she is whisked away to these other lands to train to learn how to wield her power. So hopefully at some point she can use her power to rid the darkness out of their lands. And there is also the main male character in this. What is his name? I don't know. But he also goes by the Darkling because he is more of like a shadow wielder. And I was hoping that there would be some romance in this, but it didn't seem like that was going to happen. There was like, it felt like our two main characters were, not interacting a ton other than like maybe occasionally at this training session. And then, like, boom, out of nowhere, fucking sideswiped, they kiss. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not an insta love hater. I don't necessarily like hate insta love. Like, characters are going to get together in a story. Like, it's not rocket science. But it just felt weird. Like, it just felt like out of nowhere he had like not shown any inkling of like feelings for our main character, but then all of a sudden they like kiss and like now they're making out. Like, what is going on? And like, just something feels weird about it. So maybe he's more of a villain. I don't know if that's going to be a spoiler for like later in this book. I don't know. It seems like the entire plot is eventually she's going to train to be strong enough to go fight the darkness that she's supposed to fight, and like that's her like prophecy kind of thing. And I don't know. I just don't know that I want to read an entire trilogy to get to that one final thing where we know she's going to succeed, and maybe some people die along the way. But I guess I feel like I've seen this before so many times, and I'm just not about it. I'm so close to the end that I definitely will finish this, and I want to see how this book ends. And if it ends like really good and it makes me really intrigued to pick up the next one, I will. Like, I'm not dead set on not continuing, but at this moment, like, I'm not like enjoying this as much as I was hoping to. So I don't even know. I did read Demon in the Wood, which is the like graphic novel prequel to this series. And I think that's only like 100-page graphic novel, and it was good. Like, it definitely was nice to kind of get the prequel, kind of get a little bit of the world building, kind of visualize what the like magic kind of in this world is before jumping into this. And so I did enjoy that. It makes me wish that the entire series was just graphic novels and not like a normal novel. What am I liking about this? I like that she has magical abilities because I'm always a magical ability lover. I like that she is not very strong in them, and then most of this book is her training to get better, and that's like something I love in books. I don't feel like we're getting a lot of in between of her hanging out with different people more than like true training montages, but it is what it is. Do I want to say anything else about this? I think I'm just going to go ahead and finish this, and then I'll let you know what my thoughts are once I'm done. Hopefully that'll be today because I have another like hour drive back home. But I'm also kind of brain dead, and I don't know if I still got, I think, like 100 pages left. So either you'll see me later today or you'll see me another day, and we'll wrap this one up.
Hello, we are back at the bookshelves. Am I in focus? Hello, focus, please. I always have some footage out of focus. I don't know if I'm just blind and can't figure it out, but I have finish this. It's been a few days since I talked to you last. And yeah, unfortunately, this was just very predictable. I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. And which is unfortunate because I've had this on my shelves for years and I finally got around to it when I'm not really into YA anymore, which is just unfortunate, but I wanted to give it a go. Before I just got rid of it. So I am glad I finally got around to it. And they have, I think it's a TV show, not a movie. I think it's a TV show on Netflix about this. I might watch it, I might not. I just started my Netflix subscription again, so I can like binge watch everything on there and then I'll cancel it again. But yeah, unfortunately, this was all just really predictable. It didn't really feel unique. I feel like I've read this story before in a way. Like it feels like it a lot of YA or just, fantasy trilogies feel like they kind of follow this generic pattern and then they just kind of change up some stuff. So I felt like I was predicting things. And I'm not someone who does that. Like, I'm just here for a good time. I'm just here for the ride. I don't try and, find the plot holes and predict everything that's going to happen. But this I was predicting without even trying, and that's when I'm like, okay, I'm over it. So unfortunately, it just wasn't for me, so I will not be continuing in this series. I do have Six of Crows, and I think that's just a duology. So maybe at some point I'll pick that one up, and maybe I should sooner than later. I'm not sure if that's also young adult. But anyways, so we'll see about that. But this one, unfortunately, just wasn't doing it for me. I'm glad I finished it. I was so far along in it that I might as well just be done with it. But at least we got one checked off the list. And I don't think I have anything else to say about this one. So we have 3 books that we finished. So this is my first Read It or Unhaul that I finished all 3 books that were chosen and I didn't DNF. In hindsight, maybe I should have DNF'd because we had a 2.5 star, a 2.5 star, and a 3 star. So nothing groundbreaking. I've had all 3 of these on my TBR for a long time, and I'm glad I finally got around to them. Part of me feels like with Artemis, I'm like, I wish I read this before I read The Martian and Project Hail Mary, because I definitely think those novels are better than this one by Andy Weir. I wonder if he has any other books out. I'll have to look that up. But I guess I'm glad I got through it. I did purchase these books at some point in my life, whether thrifting, most likely thrifting. I pretty rarely like spend full price on books. But anything else I want to say? I'm not going to be continuing in the Shatter Me series. I'm not going to be continuing in the Shadow and Bone series, and this is a standalone as far as I know. So, alrighty, well, thanks for watching if you've made it all the way through. I'm sorry if this got way low energy by the end of it, but that's just life sometimes, all right? I can't be high energy all the time. I'm a very low energy person to begin with. So, I'm just out here doing my best, okay? I'll see you for the next one, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.